This team needs to be yeeted into the sun. I'm so over this team. I really am. I honestly don't know how this organization continues to get so bad at everything. Falcons fans, I realize that this is not the start that you were anticipating here, but I don't know what to say at this point. And if you are coming here after you heard what happened with the Rich McKay interview, welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. That's not even a topic on today's live show. This is just right here what we're talking about right now. Honestly, Rich McKay and Arthur Blank and Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris and Zac Robinson, every single one of them should be in the unemployment line. Every single one of them. Like, I am so over this team. Welcome in to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. If you are just joining us and you're all hyped up about what you're seeing right now, hit that thumbs up icon. At least support Falcons Today. Because no matter what, good or bad, and right now it's a whole lot of bad, we're going to cover the team every day, 365 days a year. It might give me an aneurysm. It might give me a heart attack. I might age overnight. But I promise you, I will cover this football team day in and day out. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Producer Alper, this is the latest from the Rich McKay involvement in the organization. And if you're not familiar with who Rich McKay is, he is kind of the ambassador to Arthur Blank's will. That's what we were told, is that the only thing that he runs is the Arthur Blank Foundation and the will. Like, he has nothing to do with the day-to-day operations of the Atlanta Falcons. But more and more information is coming out that he continues to have his fingerprints all over the football team.
Okay.
In this most recent interview, we get stuff that comes out that says the Falcons were supposed to hire Bill Belichick. But sources close to Arthur Blank, Rich McKay, said that that wasn't a smart idea and that they should go with Raheem Morris. I mean, it's just, this is just insane.
I mean, he had multiple interviews with the Falcons back in, 2023 or 2024, beginning of 2024? He had multiple interviews. And I remember specifically that the rumor was that they did not want to hire Bill Belichick because he wanted way too much power. Way too much power. And it was an Arthur Blank kind of decision.
This team is just absolutely ridiculous, man. We're going to talk about other stuff on the field that has been going on in the last 24 hours because I literally mean this when I tell you I had so many different opportunities today to talk about the upcoming game against the New England Patriots, and yet we're sidelined by Kirk Cousins drama again. Like, this team needs a full rebuild. It does. The vibes are at a 1 out of 100. I cannot stand it.
I'm looking right now on Twitter.
By the way, so in the interview, in case you guys are wondering what happened, Rich McKay went into the locker room and on Monday had a meeting with Raheem Morris and Arthur Blank, and yet we're told this guy has nothing to do with the day-to-day operations of the Atlanta Falcons. Why are you meeting with the head coach? He's such a moron. And here's the thing about Rich McKay as well. When things are going great, he loves to take credit. He loves to say, yeah, Arthur and I work side by side on this. And then as soon as shit goes wrong, he's like, I've got nothing to do with the day-to-day operations. This team is a fucking joke.
And you play the Patriots this week.
I know. I'll lean on you here in a little bit to give some stuff. By the way, I'm just figuring all this information out now. So we actually had 3 other topics to prove why the Atlanta Falcons are a complete dumpster fire. And, yeah, you know what? Demetric Walton just said, we're the Jets. Yeah, you are the NFC version of the Jets. Yep. What do you mean? What do you mean today's deal? I didn't have a deal today. Yeah, I think you're in the wrong one. Probably. I'll send it to you real quick. I got you. Keep an eye on your Slack. 228 people in the building. We have to get to at least 50 likes before we start because 228 people is a lot. We're gonna break down a lot of shit here today, guys. I really hope you guys stick around, all 228 of you. I really hope you stick around as long as you can. We're gonna break down so much stuff on today's episode, and when I tell you guys I am over this football team, I am over this football team. Before I do that, I created a petition, just like I said. Here's the Fire Raheem and Zac petition. Oh, it gets better. Those are the first, 30 names? And then it continues on. And then it continues on.
You made this?
I made this. These are all the people that have signed. These are all the people that super chatted in our last watch party that all wanted to sign the Fire Raheem and Zac Robinson petition. We have at least 100 names. At least.
That's great.
At least 100 names. So if you just want to go back up real quick, Alpert, to the top of that again. There you go. If you want to sign this petition, and believe me, I'm keeping track. I told you guys I would make it, and I made it. If you want to join the ever-growing list of names today, all you have to do is send in a $5 super chat. $5 will add your name to the list. And then maybe, just maybe, as my job as the Atlanta Falcons host on YouTube, maybe I can send these names to somebody in the Falcons organization and just present them with the information and be like, hey, this is how many people want a change. A change. $5 to sign the Fire Zac and Raheem petition. $10 is going to get you $3 for the Matt Ryan jersey raffle. By the way, we still got a raffle going on. $20 gets you $5 for the Ryan jersey for this upcoming Sunday, and then $50 is going to get you automatic entry into the Matt Ryan laser autographed jersey raffle, which we will give away, by the way, on November 12th.
I didn't realize you had a mailbag. I was looking at the wrong script.
I'm so frustrated with this team, man. I am. It is not hard to be a good franchise in the NFL. It isn't.
So what are you going to feel like if they win on Sunday?
How am I supposed to feel? Happy? We lost to the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. I know we can beat the good teams. We've already done it. We've already done it. I know we can beat the good teams. So if we beat the Patriots, I won't be surprised. CC, I'll add you. It's $5, but it's the first super chat of the day. I'll send it. I'll send it. CC's in. I'll put it at the top of the doc. I'll just add these later.
Falcons.
It is not hard to be a good franchise in the NFL. It really isn't. And we continue to make it look difficult over and over and over again. We play two of the hottest teams in the NFL in the next 2 weeks. You play the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. And the Colts game's in Germany, by the way. Add my name to the list. Yeah, you got it. I got you, brother.
To the pet.
Tichon. The pet Ichon. Yeah, I got you. I really, really hope that we at least see good football the next coming 2 weeks, because doing this every single Sunday and watching the performance that we saw against the Miami Dolphins, it's ridiculous. And if you guys don't think that this is urgent, even the players are calling it urgent. Chris Lindstrom said the locker room feeling right now, the vibe around the locker room is intense. because everybody knows there's too much talent on this football team to suck as bad as you do. And by the way, Alper, that is not the I switched that up at the very end. It's actually Kirk Cousins requesting the trade in that second one. That's actually my fault. I should have told Avery that. Yeah, it's my fault. DJ, what's up? Appreciate the 99-cent super chat, brother. It is unbelievably urgent. Oh, no, you're good. Hey, CC, you're already on it, brother. I appreciate the $5 super chat. Don't worry about it. Maybe we'll put your name on it twice. Thanks for the $5 super, my guy. $5 to get on the Fire Raheem and Zac Robinson petition. It's for both of them, by the way. They're both incompetent. D. Will, what did they have before? I have no idea. But I want you guys to notice something real quick. We have almost 300 people watching right now. After... What's up? Oh. CC? Appreciate you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. I can't see the thumbnails. They're very tiny in this the YouTube studio. That's my apologies, CC. My bad. After the Bills game, if you go back and watch the Instagram video of after the Bills game when the Falcons won, you can see that in the locker room, there's it's almost like a conference room. Nobody's fired up. They're all just kind of standing around going, what are we doing? What are we doing? DJ, I got you, brother. I got you. Hopefully DJ's a man, because if I get that wrong, I'm 0 for 2. I'm 0 for 2. CC, sorry, I didn't see that. $5, put my name on it twice. Bingo, I got you. DJ, coming in with the $20 super chat. Add me to the hate these coaches list. You got it. You're in. And he also gets some Matt Ryan jersey raffle tickets. He gets 5. He gets 5. DJ Radford. DJ Radford gets 5 tickets. And then Poison Ivy. Awesome to see you. Thank you. $5. Poison Ivy gets 1 signature.
I'd rather see Uncle Rico be the OC at this point. Fire him. Just a Dad Gaming and David Anderson coming in.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. We'll put you up on screen here in just a second. Just a Dad. Just a Dad Gaming gets 5 tickets. David. Shout out to you, my guy, for the $2 super chat. Yeah, like I said, if you go back and watch the Bills game, if you watch the post game, that's a red flag. If your teammates aren't celebrating like they just won the Super Bowl, and again, look, I get it. Week to week, do you want to celebrate like you won the Super Bowl every single week? Of course not. But after a win, the vibe should be much higher than what they were against the Bills. Something in my gut tells me, and something with my eyeballs tells me, this team doesn't want to play for these coaches anymore. They don't. They just don't. And on today's show, Zac Robinson basically admitted he sucks in his most recent press conference, with one specific comment that literally made me laugh out loud. You can ask producer Alper. He was in the bullpen when I was reading it. I laughed hysterically. Kirk apparently wants to go back to the Vikings. Made it very clear this morning that he wants to be traded, so he's officially requested a trade. And then, of course, we've got a mailbag where you, Falcons fans, can ask me questions, another Falcons fan, about what we've got going on with the team right now.
Time to call in the replacements with Keanu Reeves.
I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 9 weeks without, blowing a gasket. I don't know. I don't get it. All right. You know what we're going to do? We're 15 minutes in. We're going to get into our Zac Robinson admittance Is this the Blank or McKay issue? If we rebuild, where's the root of the issue? That's a great question. Put that up real quick, Albert, before we start, because I want to answer that question. Manzo, you're in.
Oh, just a dad game and coming in with another 10.
I'm going to answer that question, too. So these are all going in the mailbag, too, by the way. Add me the petition, please. Is this a Blank or McKay issue? This is a Raheem and Zach issue. We'll get to that later on. If we rebuild, where's the root of the issue? The front office. The front office. It starts with Arthur Blank, Rich McKay, Terry Fontenot. They're the chuds making these decisions. Obviously, Raheem Morris was not a good pick. He was not a good pick for this head coach. Zac Robinson, go coach in college. I don't want you near this football team anymore. I don't. I do not want you near this football team anymore. You're done. You're done. I want you out of here. But it definitely starts with the front office. Terry Fontenot has not had a winning season since he became the GM of the Atlanta Falcons. And I know that a lot of fans are going to get down in the comment section and be like, well, Moose, he just had a great draft. That's one positive out of the last 4 years of suck. This team is slipping back into not only mediocrity, but you are becoming a bad franchise. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it. Bama boy, sorry. You get 5 tickets for the Matt Ryan. Just a dad. We have good leadership, or we have to have good leadership. We have to have good leadership. Okay, I was going to say, what? Got it. We have to have good leadership. We are missing a few linemen, a depth at cornerback, safety, Nichols. Would you agree? I think the Falcons secondary is a very big positive right now. It's one of the best I've seen from this team in years. I would say right now, the biggest issue is coaching. You need a defensive tackle or a nose tackle that can shore up the defensive line because you can't stop the run for shit. Probably another couple of weapons. I mean, there's a lot that you need. But guess what? You can't go after premier players. You don't have a first-round pick. Yeah, they're rolling in right now. We'll just keep talking about them until we don't. Bama boy. Get rid of the coaches. Fuck yeah. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Get them out of here. I don't want them. I don't want to see them. I want them gone off my football team. Get them off my football team. We have to have. No, I got you. Don't worry about it. Justin, you get 5 tickets, brother. 5 tickets. Oh, my goodness. Fire Zach, fire Ra. They bring nothing to the table clearly. Yeah, you're no doubt about that. Why not go get the Washington coach? Yes! We have a ball knower. Ryan Grubb. That's his name. Go get him. Go get him. Justin, you know frickin' ball, man. You know what? I'm giving him an extra ticket for that. I'm giving him an extra ticket. 6 tickets for Justin because Justin knows ball. Ryan Grubb, did you know, producer Albert, that his last season at the University of Washington, Michael Penix, in 15 games, threw almost 5,000 yards.
He threw it to Roma Dunze and Jalen Polk.
He threw for almost 5,000 yards.
Jalen Polk sucks. He's on the Aints.
Just a dad again, we have to have. No, I knew what you meant, man. Thanks for the 20. Dude, you supporting this is really great. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the super chats. It really goes a long way to getting you guys cool stuff, keeping this channel alive, giving you the best content day-to-day, live watch parties, stuff like that. And that's what super chats gets you guys. If you super chat, this is the type of stuff that you're going to get. Honest conversation, watch parties, cool gear, everything that you need to be a better Falcons fan supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Archangel, super fan of the show. Rich Decay, hilarious, has been a cancer. Fire him and Raheem Moron and take Zac Robbing with us. These are some great nicknames. Now, Ark, I would add you to the petition, but you're already on it. So good for you. Trey coming in with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Trey. I was optimistic about Raheem Morris, but he acts like a parent who would rather be a friend than provide guidance or structure to this team. SOS. That's a very good way of putting it. I kind of view Raheem Morris as the parent that, when their child misbehaves, the only thing they say is, now, Billy, let's talk about why that's not a smart idea. You know what kind of parent I want, producer Alper? I want someone to come in and say, if you do that shit again, I'm beating your ass.
Kind of like Mike Vrabel.
Yes. No nonsense. Look, Razez, to your point, to your question, if I, do you really think Ryan Grubb makes a huge difference? The answer to that question is, as long as Terry, Arthur Blank, and Rich McKay are still in the front office, nothing is ever going to really change that much. But the good news is that the on-the-field product can start to get better. That's the good news. Another 20? Another 20 coming in, and then we'll jump into our... we have to start our stuff, guys. We got to start. Let's get to at least 100 likes, though. We're almost there. I have never watched a show like I do yours. I feel the passion when I watch you. Will always support good people and your crew. Thank you all. Here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of hosts out there that they just do this for a job. I truly come to work every single day, and I try to give you guys the very best content that I can based off of the team that I'm watching. And when the team is playing well, I'm high on them because after the Bills game, I'm like, whoa, what is this? This team 2 years ago would have never done that against the Buffalo Bills. They would have never dominated like they did. So when I see good things, I talk about good things. I'm not just a negative Nelly. But the last 2 weeks, there's literally been not one good thing to talk about. Not one. And we'll talk about those bad things in the last 2 weeks coming up in today's show. Dave, Robinson and Morris are still working for the Rams. We're getting them their next QB1. At this point, I just think Raheem Morris, he's in way over his head. He'll never be another head coach. He's a defensive coordinator through and through. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He's done a good job with the secondary, and Terry Fontenot and he worked side by side on the draft. Every single draft pick that we have looks like they can play, but when it comes to running the day-to-day operations of a football team, Raheem Morris is not it. He's not it. Corey, besides Grubb, Joe Brady, Albrecht, Sala, or Rex. You forgot Flores in there. You forgot Flores. I'll take Flores all day. I will. I'll take Brian Flores all day. That dude's got balls. That dude's got passion. That is a leader of men. Raheem is not a leader of men. All right, let's jump into it, Alper. It's been long enough. We've had 25 minutes. I know. Moose is goated. Rip Petey. Petey's not dead.
So you say.
All right, let's do this. 328 people rocking with us. Appreciate you for getting us over 100 likes. We're going to jump into why Zac Robinson admitted that he sucked at his recent press conference, and honestly, he just gets more laughable by the day. I'm about to...
Caden, quit spamming, bro.
I'm going to...
Or I'm going to put you in timeout.
It's Easton Stick, dude. They don't have anybody on the active 53. They'd have to activate Easton Stick. All right. Let's do this. Ooh. Pause. What is going on with you over there? I don't know. Pause. Start again. Try it again. All right, cool. All right, let's talk about Zac Robinson again. and why he continues to get more laughable every single day. His most recent press conference, believe it or not, actually made me think that this coaching staff has never had media training. And I mean that not hyperbolically. I'm not exaggerating. I actually believe nobody prepped these guys at how to talk to the media or at the microphone. Because on today's episode of Falcons Today, my name is Moose, by the way. Thanks for joining. Zac Robinson literally just admitted he sucks. Like, he admitted he's bad. One specific comment in all of this proves that he just literally said, yeah, I'm just not very good at my job, apparently. And it wasn't tongue-in-cheek. Like, I think he just doesn't understand what the words coming out of his mouth actually mean. And if you are absolutely exhausted, if you're tired of the nonsense, and if you're ready for more nonsense, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up icon. The giant thumb lets me know that, hey, at least Moose is going to tell us the honest truth about this football team, even if our coaches won't do it. So, what is this comment, Moose, that Zac Robinson made at his press conference? When did he actually admit that he sucked? Well, one specific Atlanta Falcons beat reporter asked him directly about the struggles on offense. And maybe there was an opportunity that the Falcons were seeing some different defensive packages, and maybe that's why. And here's what Zac Robinson said. We've actually been seeing simpler looks than we were anticipating, which makes it a little bit more frustrating for everybody, knowing that, hey, we can own these looks, we can anticipate these looks, but again, we just need to get it cleaned up. Oh my God. So whose fault is it, Zac? You literally just admitted the defenses are not giving you problems. You're just not doing it well. like, dude, this is insane. Like, how on earth can you sit at the microphone and literally say, hey, by the way, the defenses actually are putting up pretty easy packages against us. We just can't beat it. Like, to me, it literally makes my brain explode. I feel like I'm melting from the inside. Because the last two games prove that against a beat-up San Francisco 49ers team and a Miami Dolphins team that was last in almost every statistical category, you can't do shit. Period. 252 yards a game, 199 passing yards per game, 53 rushing yards per game. 10 points a game. And if this was 1956, oh boy, you might have a W. And first downs per game, 15. The league average, by the way, per game is 15.9. Congrats. You're worse than 32 other teams in the last two games. And the advanced numbers also tell the picture. Zac, you suck. Points per game, 28th. Fourth quarter points per game, 29th. Touchdowns a game, 29th. Points per play, 28th. Like, at some point, somebody's got to tell one of these clowns that the name of the game is scoring points. I'm glad you can move the ball from your own 20 to the 50, Zac. But if you can't find the paint in the end zone, none of it matters. None of it. The only teams the Falcons score more than, by the way, are the Saints, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Titans. Those teams have a combined 6 wins. Those are the only teams you score more than in 2025. But wait a minute, Moose, time out. Did he talk about how to make the team better? He did. And he sounded just as foolish. He really did. Here's what he said. How do you make the team better, Zac? Easy question. You got to make sure that practice is set up the way that you need to. Got to get those looks. Get the live reps. We'll get those live reps out there. So, just regurgitating what Raheem Morris said yesterday. Get back to practice. Is that what you're telling me? You just got to get back to practice? Okay. It is clear to me that after these press conferences, nobody's communicating with each other. Zac probably watched what Raheem Morris said and listened to what he said and just be like, yeah, I'll just echo what Raheem said. That's what I'll do. Because getting back to practice does nothing. You practice every week. How about something else? How about opening up a discussion to your players? How about letting your players voice what they think the problem is and then adjusting your game plan based off of what your players want? Because you're not playing the game. You're going out every single week and commanding men. And because of your incompetency, the Falcons now have a 15% chance to make the playoffs. This is why we're not going to make it, guys. It's not because Raheem and Zac said some shit at the microphone that didn't make a lot of sense and we all have a good chuckle on it. It's because it starts at the microphone and it bleeds into practice and it bleeds into the games and eventually the players get tired of it. You admitted defenses are making it easy on you, and you still can't figure it out. I don't want to hear anything about injuries. The San Francisco 49ers are one of the most injured teams in the NFL. They're winning football games. The Kansas City Chiefs, the last couple of seasons, have had injuries all season long. They made the Super Bowl. What do those teams have in common? Great head coaches, great staffs, great pivoting, great adjustments. You've got none of it. So let's fire Zac. If you're watching during our live show, spam it down in the comment section. Spam it in the live section right here, please. If you're watching during our regularly scheduled programming, just type it down in the comment section down below, because I can only tell you guys so much, like what needs to change before eventually it just becomes a moot point. And coming up, I'm going to give you some injury updates. And again, some of it is good. Most recently, it's not good. The Falcons have a serious problem with pass catchers right now, and the fact that they don't really have any. So we're going to touch on that here in just a little bit. But before I do that, I have to tell you about my friends over at Harry's. Look, as the hairiest guy that you know, I personally believe that the best personal grooming kit out there is Harry's. I use it every single day at my house. I really do. I've got tons of Harry's stuff at my sink ready to go. And believe me when I tell you this, Harry's is affordable and they're making personal grooming better. Was your old razor just too dull? Did it go too dull too fast? Did it irritate your neck? Did they cost way too much? $30 for 8 refills is a total scam. Harry's Plus has an advanced pivoting system to reach every corner of your face. Refined blade technology for a closer, smoother shave, and weighted metal handle for control and comfort. With Harry's Plus, you get a barbershop quality shave with German engineered blades. Each blade honed with 3 different angles to cut hair cleanly at the root without tugging. Why pay $30 for refills when Harry gives you better blades for a fraction of the cost? Harry's has launched their most advanced razor ever, and it is still cheaper than the Gillette Fusion 5. For a limited time, our listeners can get Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 refined 5-blade cartridge, 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades to go on the go. Just head on over to harrys.com/chat to claim this offer, and after you purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them Moose from Falcons Today sent you. So Mike Garafolo, who is a big-time NFL reporter, basically gave the update from what Raheem Morris talked about today at his press conference. He's gone back-to-back press conferences. And Raheem Morris still considers Michael Penix Jr. day-to-day, but feels good about him. And funny enough, that's what we were told last week, too. Just FYI, and then Kirk Cousins started. And then wide receiver Drake London feels better this week than he did last week. That's good news, too. The 2 guys that I really need to see on the field, specifically with the offense, are these 2 players. If not for winning the football game, just from an aesthetics perspective, like, I don't want to have what we put on the field as a TV product go out against the New England Patriots, because you will lose that game 50-0. The Patriots are 10 times better than the Miami Dolphins, and it isn't close. And yet, we're not playing our best players, and we're continually told, well, we feel really good about them, and then we get the update, well, they're not playing. So, like, Raheem, I don't know what to, whatever. Here's what he said about the Michael Penix Jr. injury. Michael's in the building, obviously in meetings. He'll go out there today and do a walkthrough. We'll get a chance to get a feel for what he can do in practice. if he can do anything. That's not reassuring, but obviously we'll get that right after this and find out what he's doing, how he can do it, and how he feels and all type of that stuff. Really saying nothing with saying everything. Obviously, he feels better than he did last week. That's fine. Obviously, he feels better every single day with it being a bone bruise. That stuff gets better every day, so I feel really good about him. Penix needs to play. I cannot watch another week of Kirk Cousins and that Zac Robinson offense with no pass catchers out there do exactly what they did against the Miami Dolphins. It made me sick to my stomach. It was despicable. And now you have another injury update. Taryn Wack. Love this name. Love what she does. Love her work. Wide receiver Casey Washington doesn't seem to be participating in practice today, wearing a T-shirt during the media viewing period along the sideline. So this could mean everything, but it also could mean nothing. But if Casey Washington can't go, let's just throw the worst possible news out there. Who's going to pass or who's going to catch passes for this team? If Drake London and Casey Washington can't go, and right now both of them are up in the air. We hope they play, but both of them are up in the air. Here's the only 4 players, not this is our depth chart, but I have a list 4 logo in there, producer Alper, of the guaranteed players that are playing against the New England Patriots. This is a nice little view of what we've got going on right here. But the guaranteed wide receivers for the upcoming Patriots game are Kadarius Hodge, Darnell Mooney, David Sills, and Jamal Agnew. This is what we know is starting on Sunday. Like, this is all-time low stuff. You have no trade capital. You have a broken offense and injuries up the ass. Like, how much worse can it get? How much worse can it get? This is why I'm clamoring to fire Raheem and Zach, because literally we're at rock bottom right now. We've got our number 1 and now number 3 options that might not play. You already gave away your number 3 because you cut him, and who knows what the truth is behind that story. And the only wide receiver that's worth the damn that's starting right now is Darnell Mooney, and he's not even 100%. It's insane how bad this season has taken a turn. Good luck against the New England Patriots this coming Sunday. Good luck. You can activate a bunch of wide receivers. You could activate Nick Nash, and that's fine. You could activate Chris Blair, and that's fine. I hope you do, because right now, what we're starting with is not nearly good enough. But who knows? Maybe Raheem and Zach won't even activate anybody from the practice squad. Maybe they'll just say, hey, we give our guys on the 53 the best shot to go out there and win our games, and that's fine. Whatever. Continue to do what you do. That's all I got for you in today's episode. It's going to get worse if you're watching the live show, because trust me, I'm about to get more heated when it comes to our backup quarterback, Kirk Cousins. But until then, rise up and be cool.
Time to get mad.
Nothing short of a deep playoff success can save their jobs. Probably. So I think if they, even if they have a winning record, I don't think they get brought back. I really don't. And trust me, I think that's the best possible scenario right now, is that they get a winning record at the end of 2025. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not even thinking about playoffs right now. I'm really not.
For an injury update for Sunday.
Yep.
Ramondre Stevenson did not practice today with a toe injury.
Interesting. Well, here's the thing. The Falcons, they can't stop the run in general. So it doesn't matter who's running the football. They can't stop it.
Shout out to Aiden Bird.
Our team's pure talent, yet every Sunday disaster. Just say it out loud. Say it out loud. You've got the best pass rush for the Falcons maybe in years. You've had the best Falcons pass rush in years. One of the best secondaries, not just in years, but in the NFL. You've got Bijan Robinson. You've got Tyler Algier. You've got Drake London. You've got Darnell Mooney. You've got a top 10 pick at quarterback. And yet you've lost now, not only badly, but in horrendous fashion. Do you know that against the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins, you've combined for 10 points? In those two games, you're averaging 5 points a game. This isn't baseball. David.
Hold on.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
There we go. Oh, nope. It's Super Chats. There we go.
Raheem is the new Lloyd Pierce. Let that sink in. Oh, God. I don't think you're wrong. I really don't think you're wrong.
All right.
I don't think so. All right. Now we got to talk about Kirk Cousins. And Kirk is officially requested a trade, by the way. In case you didn't see any of the headlines today, Kirk has asked his agent to put it out there that he wants to be traded to a team that needs a quarterback one. And while that might sound like he's doing what's best for him and his career, and maybe that's true, I don't want players on my football team that don't want to help the football team they're currently on. Hey, remember, Kirk, you signed with the Falcons. You signed with the Falcons. Just go full screen how to play. All right. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins. You have to take off I know what it is. You have to take off the super chat. So after that happens, you go to just switch to any graphic and then it won't do it. No, I got you. All right, let's do it. Yep. You know your team is bad when your backup quarterback has officially requested a trade. Falcons fans, I wish it was better news, but now Kirk Cousins, the player that every single person was clamoring for to start over the injured Michael Penix Jr., maybe not everybody, but a good chunk of people, has now officially requested a trade from the Falcons per his agent and from USA Today. My name is Trace Moustakas, but please call me Moose. And question for you Falcons fans, does the drama ever end? I mean, this season, it's one story after the other. It really is. And when your backup quarterback is now requesting a trade, you just know that you're in the dumpster. You cannot be more of a joke of a franchise than you already are, because I cannot believe that this is a real story that we have to talk about. And yet, it still came out today. It's still being reported. It's been out there multiple times. Kirk Cousins wants a QB1 opportunity ahead of the NFL trade deadline. Per USA Today, this dropped earlier this morning. And it wasn't just USA Today. Dov Kleiman said Falcons star quarterback Kirk Cousins wants to be traded to a team that has a QB1 opportunity as the deadline approaches. The Vikings make a lot of sense. Okay, so we're going to start with how I feel about Kirk requesting a trade, and then we'll get into a little bit later the fit with the Minnesota Vikings. First thing, and this is a message to Kirk, my guy, who wants to trade for you? Do you really think the Vikings want to do that? Let's be so for real right now. You look like you're 55 years old on the field. You have literally no mobility. It's less than Michael Penix Jr. You've got stone feet in the pocket, a literal statue. You have no more zip on your football. It's like throwing a pillow. That's what it looked like against the Miami Dolphins. And you dinked and dunked your way down the field all game long. Now, again, part of that is on Zac Robinson. In fact, I'd say a large majority of that is on Zac Robinson. But here's Kirk's passing chart. Look at all of it between 0, negative yards through that 10-yard mark. It's the majority of his passes. Majority of his passes were at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, and before 10 yards. You can't move the football down the field whatso-frickin-ever. And yet you still believe that there's a team out there that's going to be like, hey, that 173 you put up against the Dolphins, my guy, that's worthy stuff. Let's get you on over here and get you integrated into our system. And this, by the way, coming from a player that has commanded such a high salary every single year that he's been a serious starter. I mean, Kirk Cousins' agent should be in the Hall of Fame because Kirk is the prototypical, like, NFL quarterback, right? Like, if you were to take a 2007 quarterback, it's Kirk Cousins. Like, he's just good enough to be a franchise quarterback and yet not good enough to ever actually have his team in contention for anything. And at some point, Arthur Blank, Terry Fontenot, Rich McKay, apparently, you have to say, screw the money. Screw the money. We'll eat the entire salary for the year and get rid of the guy. Send him to Minnesota. Because for the love of Christ, I cannot deal with a backup quarterback telling me that he wants to be traded. That is insane. He's the only backup in the league that is requesting a trade. And if Kirk doesn't want to be here and help his team when he's called upon, kick his ass out. Goodbye. Leave. Because what are we doing? He's a backup for a reason, and a backup nonetheless that costs $27.5 million. There are teams that laugh at you, Kirk. They're laughing at the Falcons. They're laughing at Terry Fontenot. They're laughing at the organization as a whole. Because over the last year, this is just from 2024 to 2025. You fired Jimmy Lake. You play no starters in the preseason. You didn't get Kirk any snaps in the preseason either. So any type of momentum you could have seen and really good performances in the preseason, you squandered away because you didn't give him a single snap. You played Easton Stick every game. Every game. You had the Ray McLeod situation. You had the tampering with Kirk Cousins. That's your first red flag that Kirk's a loudmouth. You drafted Michael Penix Jr., you kept Kirk Cousins knowing he was a massive cap hit, and you fired Ike Hilliard, which is clearly proving to be the most liked coach in that locker room. Did I miss anything? Holy cow. Like, a backup quarterback requesting a trade is insane. It is literally the definition of you're incompetent at your job. If you have a backup quarterback, and granted, it's Kirk Cousins, right? He's a name. He's been a starter. You signed him to be the starter. Just let me know. Should they trade him or cut him? Because here's the good news. Here's the good news. And this is the only silver lining in all of it. If Kirk Cousins stays on this team throughout the 2025 season, the Falcons are going to cut him post-June 1st. It's a $35 million cap savings. So he'll either be traded or he's going to be cut, because I can guarantee you he will not suit up as an Atlanta Falcon next year, and I don't want him here. Let's tell you about our sponsor, and that's Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, and today's presenting sponsor is Prize Picks. And let me tell you right now, Prize Picks is the silver lining in this episode as well, because I love this app. Hold on, Alper. I'm going to start over on that. Pause, sorry. All right, let me start over because I started off the wrong way too. Yeah, that's fine. No, just leave it like this. Yeah, it's fine. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Did you know Prize Picks, you can now follow other players directly on the app and copy their lineups in just one click, whether it is a friend, a celebrity partner like producer Alper on the ones and twos, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create in the brand new feed tab over on Prize Picks. How do you play? It's very simple to play. Just pick the player, the more or the less on their stat projection, and then watch your money multiply. Up to 2,000 times your money this football season on Prize Picks. Just download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. I want to be so perfectly clear with everybody watching currently. As a Falcons fan, I want players that want to play for this team. Kirk Cousins is further dividing this locker room. Because now the Falcons players wake up this morning. They drive into work just like you and me. They get ready for practice. They listen to what their head coach has to say. They listen to what their offensive coordinator has to say. And whether they agree with it or not, they put up with it. And then they hear this from their backup quarterback that he wants to play for another team. I would alienate him in the locker room. That's the petty side of Moose. You don't want to be here? Nobody's going to talk to you. Sit on the sidelines, Kirk. Sit on the sidelines. How can anybody sit there and actually say to themselves, as a true Falcons lover, yep, I'm still rolling with Kirk Cousins? That is insane. And I've said that word like 80 times today. But it's true. A backup quarterback should keep his mouth shut, especially one that costs as much as he does. I would have more respect for a backup quarterback like Easton Stick, who said, hey, listen, I want to get on out of here and test my waters in free agency because this is not working for me. I'd have more respect for that than to hear Kirk Cousins, who's 37 years old, going on 57 years old, say, I still think I can be a QB1. It's arrogance. It's arrogance. You played like shit against the Dolphins, and yet you have the balls to come out and say, I can still do it, guys. I can still sling that rock. Then why didn't you? Why didn't you? If you're so good, overcome your adversity. Overcome the incompetent play calling. But you can't. You can't. Because you're Kirk Cousins, and you're a product of your environment. This is proving to me that the Falcons need a full rebuild. And I'm sorry if you're a Falcons fan that likes all of the players that we've accumulated, the talent that we've accumulated. This is proving to me the Falcons still need a full rebuild. They do. So, because this season alone, you've had the constant injuries, which tells me you've had a lack of body preparation, right? I don't know what goes on at practice with these guys. I don't know what kind of nutritionists they've got. I don't know what kind of strength and conditioning programs they've got, but clearly the players are suffering day in and day out with their injuries. The Ray McLeod situation, Kirk Cousins requesting a trade, and of course, you fired the only coach that anybody liked in the building, and that was Ike Hilliard. And you had to make a tough decision, Raheem. You're not the guy for the job. You're not the guy. I would resign. I honestly would. Save yourself the embarrassment. It is okay to admit that you failed at something. Everybody fails. I've failed more times in my life than I can count. I failed at this job more times than I can count. But I still come back every single day and I make the adjustments to get better. You don't. So how do you start the rebuild? Moose, you're talking about a rebuild. So how would you start the rebuild if you've got all the answers? Glad you asked. I do have a 5-step plan for this rebuild. Here's exactly what I would do starting today, moving forward until we start the 2026 season. Are you ready for it? Here's what I'd do. I'd trade Arnold Ebiketie for some draft capital. He's been a name that's floated out by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Ian Rappaport, and a multitude of other NFL insiders as a name that the Falcons could trade for. I'd trade him for some draft capital. Even if that means you get a 3rd-round pick, do it. I'd fire Raheem and his staff immediately. You're gone. I'd make Jeff Ulbrich the interim head coach. I'd have to clean up my salary cap at the end of the year, meaning there are going to be players that want bigger contracts, right? Players that want to re-sign for more dollars, and I'd have to make the tough decision to say, look, we need the core players that make a difference for this team on this team. So I'd clean up my salary cap that way. You can push that forward, Alper. That's how I'd clean up my salary cap. I'd get rid of Kirk. I'd get rid of guys that are costing us way too much that aren't the core players, and I would just start fresh. I'd hire Brian Flores and Ryan Grubb. Brian Flores, leader of men. Brian Flores, great defensive mind. Brian Flores, aggressive. Ryan Grubb, Michael Penix Jr.'s offensive coordinator at the University of Washington. That would be my combo. And then I would get so active in free agency, it kills other teams. I would be calling every player that's worth a damn to get onto the Falcons and say, we're going to start rebuilding this program from the ground up. And if you want to be a part of a winning culture starting today, that's how I'm doing it. Who are some of those free agents that I'm talking about? Mike Evans, George Pickens, Travis Jones, Alontae Taylor, Alec Pierce are just a handful of players that are going to be free agents next year. And notice, 3 of them are wide receivers. You want to be paired up with Drake London? Let's go. I could see them going after George Pickens. I could see them going after Alec Pierce. Mike Evans, a little bit tougher of a sell. He plays in the same division. Alante Taylor, same division. Tough sell. But I think you could. I think you could. Is it time for a full rebuild of the Atlanta Falcons? Yes or no? To me, it's yes. It's yes. Now, I'm not saying scrap every player. I want to be very clear about that. I don't think you get rid of Bijan. I don't think you get rid of Pitts. I don't think you get rid of Drake London. I don't think you get rid of anybody in that secondary, right? Like, I don't think you're getting rid of A.J. Terrell. I think what you need to do is just clear up as much cap space as possible and get as many NFL veterans to join this new and improved Falcons team when it happens. Subscribe to the channel. Like today's video. And as always, rise up and be cool. Yeah, we need more questions. We need
more questions.
We got the super chatters, which is nice, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh yeah, you got to keep Divine Diablo. He's been amazing. He's been amazing.
Keep those questions coming in, people. Hashtag
injured. Isn't he out for the rest of the year? I'm like 99% sure.
Most of the year.
Most of the year?
He'll be back for the playoffs.
All right, so he'll be out for a significant period of time. I don't think the Buccaneers at this point are ready to give him a multi-year extension, given his age and his injury history. So could you sign Mike Evans to a 1-year contract? Sure. Go out and prove it. Go out and prove it. Like Keenan Allen did with the Bears. Like the Chargers didn't want to bring him back, right? Chargers didn't want to bring Keenan Allen back. They said, thanks for your service. We're not interested in giving you a massive contract given your age. The Bears go out and they sign him. He proves just enough to go back to the Chargers. So I'm not even saying that Mike Evans is a long-term deal.
Like Archangel, use hashtag Falcons. Start typing in your questions. We need more questions and we can't go to the mailbag.
What do you do with Tyler? Manzo, add a hashtag Falcons to that. I'll answer that question in the mailbag.
Statesman, no space between the hashtag. Study, hashtag Falcons.
Yeah, we keep Brick. You got to keep Brick. I think Brick's great.
You got to use hashtag Falcons, people. J5 Production, you got to have hashtag Falcons. The creator, you got to have hashtag Falcons.
We need another wide receiver, guys. I love Darnell Mooney. I think when Darnell Mooney is healthy, he's a really great addition. He's a great number 3. He really is. He's like one of the best 3s in the league. He's not a number 2.
There you go, Willie Foster. There you go, Jeremy Deitel. There you go, DJ Radford. Just like that. Keep them coming. Thank you, Michael Holmes Reels. CC.
Okay, War Eagle, I understand what you're saying. I know the defense against the Dolphins was bad, but when you can't play complementary football, when you can't play good offensive football, and your defense sees that, defense is all about pride. Defense is about energy. It's about urgency, and it's about reacting. There is not as much scheme that goes into defense as it does offense. Defense is very much a momentum style of game. It's hard hitting, it's reactionary, it's athleticism. That's what great defenses are. When you saw what the product was against the Miami Dolphins on offense, how could any defense go out and justify the nonstop 150%, 150 miles an hour, knowing that the offense was going to go 3 and out? They're exhausted.
All right, we have plenty of comments.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into our...
Thank you, guys.
We're at an hour, so we'll get into our... we'll get into our mailbag here.
Once you tell them what to do, they do it. All righty. Let's get into this mailbag.
All right.
No, hold on. Boop. Boop. Boop.
I didn't think it was possible. I'm actually sweating in this studio. It's so cold in here, but I'm sweating. I was sweating. All right, let's do it. What's up, Falcons fans? Welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Welcome into our Mailbag episode where I answer questions from Falcons fans to Falcons fans about the Atlanta Falcons. And right now, there's not a lot to be happy about. At the time of this recording, we have just found out that Kirk Cousins has requested a trade. The Falcons have a multitude of injuries. They're coming off of their worst loss of the season. And regardless, and despite all of that, if you still want daily updates, if you want the honest truth, if you want nonstop full coverage of the Dirty Birds, real Falcons fans know what to do. They hit that subscribe button. Make sure you stay locked in 365 days a year. Let's start with Just Dad Gaming. Appreciate the $10 super chat, my guy. It goes a long way. We have to have good leadership, excuse me. We are missing a few key linemen at depth, corner, safety, nickels. Would you agree? I think the best part of the Falcons team right now is their secondary. I do. I think maybe there's a little bit of depth that we could talk about. The safeties, I think, are fine. The cornerbacks are fine. Maybe one more corner. But right now, the biggest needs for the Falcons are a true nose tackle, right? You need somebody that can stump the defensive line because right now, you can't stop the run to save your life. We also need more pass catchers. We need more weapons. You got to get Michael Penix some help. Outside of Bijan Robinson and Drake London, it is very, very thin with Darnell Mooney's injury, and Kyle Pitts is so up and down this year, you never know which version of him you're going to get. Appreciate the question, my friend. Bama boy, get rid of the coaches. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah, I would get rid of them yesterday, actually. I would give them their pink slip. I would give them a Subway gift card, and I would say, go on over there and apply at Subway, where you can eat fresh all day. Archangel. Rich Decay has been a cancer. Fire him and Raheem Moron and take Zac robbing us with them. That's funny. I like the nicknames. Yeah, like I said, Rich McKay is an absolute buffoon. And he's the ultimate. When things go well, I want full credit. When things go poorly, I don't want to touch this organization with a 10-foot pole. I just think the whole organization from top to bottom needs a clean scrub. A clean scrub. Trey, I was optimistic about Raheem Morris, but he acts like a parent who would rather be a friend than provide guidance or structure to this team. SOS. I think he's more of a parent that's like, now, Billy, when we don't do something right, what do you think we should do? Instead, I want a parent that's going to say, hey, listen, it's my job to teach you, but if you don't do things right, I'm going to beat your ass, right? Like, if you misbehave, I'm coming for you. Like, you're not supposed to be a player's best friend. You're supposed to be the player's coach, a leader of men, meaning you can be really high on them when they're doing things right and be complimentary, but when they're doing things wrong, you've got to be a hard ass, period. Justin, God, he knows ball. Fire Zach, fire Raw. Why not go get the Washington coach that took Penix to the championship? Just a thought. Thank you. Thank you. Ryan frickin' Grubb, man. I will tell you all about this guy here just coming up in just a second. But I'm sure you're probably wondering at some point, who are the who are the head coaching candidates that the Falcons could explore when they fire Raheem Morris? Well, I've got some for you. We're going to go coach by coach. Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. I think he's a leader of men. I think he's ready for his next opportunity. The players in Minnesota love him. He's a defensive genius, and he could always hire a really smart and capable offensive coordinator to lead the offense. The defense that you've got currently on the Falcons is doing really well under Jeff Ulbrich. I think you could keep Brick as your defensive coordinator. Brian Flores, I'm not quite so sure what their relationship is, but I do know this. They're both really smart defensive-minded coaches, so you could absolutely keep them on board. John Gruden, a Barstool Sports employee, but he needs no introduction. You know who John Gruden is. You know what he's worth. We'll move on to the next guy. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator. I don't really love this one, but he's going to be a name that's thrown out there. Anytime you're the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen, your name's going to be thrown around a lot. But he's kind of regressed this year, in my opinion. Still, though, an offensive-minded guy that has seen how to get the most out of a quarterback, especially with Josh Allen, so maybe Joe Brady. Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, he's given Sam Darnold a really, really good season so far. And then Declan Doyle, the offensive coordinator in Chicago. This one's kind of a question mark for me right now. He doesn't call plays, but he has been learning under Ben Johnson. And before that, he was with the Denver Broncos under Sean Payton. So that's two really good head coaches and two really good schemes. I'm sure he's accumulated a lot of information. But the guy that I want to bring up specifically that you just did, Justin, is Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb is the offensive coordinator currently for the University of Alabama. And he was also the offensive coordinator for Michael Penix Jr. the last season in Washington. Now remember, Grubb's tenure with Seattle last season. He was the offensive coordinator with the Seahawks last year. Featured Geno Smith, an awful offensive line, and they still went 10-7. So it couldn't have been that bad, right? Like with the worst offensive line in the league, you went 10-7. You did. And with the Washington Huskies, Michael Penix Jr. completed 65% of his passes, threw for almost 5,000 yards in college, 36 touchdowns, 11 picks, with a quarterback rating of 157.1. Now, it's a little bit different because college ratings and pro ratings are completely different, but it's still a very good passer rating for Michael Penix Jr. So, in my opinion, why not get the guy that already knows what Penix likes to run, has seen him do it, has succeeded with him, and clearly has the relationship already there? It makes too much sense. This is his second chance at the NFL. Why would Ryan Grubb want to do it? Because now he gets the opportunity to get back into the NFL, succeed with Michael Penix Jr., and then maybe, just maybe, he gets a head coaching opportunity. Either way, I think this is an excellent fit for MPJ. But you let me know in the comments section down below. Now, before I get into any more questions from you guys, I have to tell you about our friends over at Harry's. Look, as the hairiest guy you know, trust me, my back has 5 o'clock shadow right now. I just shaved it the other day. I've got Harry's products all over my house. Every single day, I use their razor, their shaving cream. But they've got a really cool deal going on. Harry's Plus comes into play where you can get a barbershop quality shave with German engineered blades. Did your old razor dull out way too quick? Did it irritate your neck? How about the cost? $30 for 8 refills is a total scam. Harry's Plus has advanced pivoting system to reach every corner of your face, a refined blade for a closer and smoother shave, and a weighted metal handle for extra control and comfort. Each blade is honed at 3 different angles to cut hair cleanly at the root without tugging. Why on earth would you pay $30 for refills when Harry's gives you better blades for a fraction of the cost? Harry's has launched their most advanced razor ever and is still cheaper than the Gillette Fusion 5. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for $10 at harrys.com/chats. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/chat to claim your offer, and after you purchase, they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? Falcons Today is the place, and that guy Moose. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Pizza Souls. Should we start D. Alford over Mike Hughes when Billy comes back due to D outperforming Mike for 3 weeks straight? It's a possibility. I like the way you're thinking. Come back to me after this next week, because while I will give D. Alford credit, the last couple of games, D's played great. He has. I gave him an apology. I said, look, I was really harsh on you earlier in the year. You've definitely, played better. I think he deserves kudos for that. Mike Hughes hasn't played awful, But I completely agree with you. D has outperformed him for 3 weeks straight. So come back after this next week, and I'll let you know. Aiden, excuse me, sorry. What will it take for us to get back to consistency? I see promise every single year. How can we get it back? I'm so tired of being not good since 2017 when I was 15 years old. Aiden, it's a great question. I think it starts with a new coaching staff. I think it starts with coaches that understand scheme. I think it starts with someone that understands Michael Penix Jr. and understands Bijan. And I think you have to preach the right practice habits. And when things go wrong, it is your job as a coach to make the adjustments. And one of the things that I don't think Raheem Morris does, or Zac Robinson for that matter, is they both don't make adjustments. They want to run their exact same style of play every single week because they think, hey, if we saw success against one team, then clearly it can work every single week. That's not the case. It's the NFL. They're the best coaches, the best players in the league. You have to adjust game by game. Willie, is there anything to do to bolster the O-line? For the most part, I think the O-line has been good. The last 2 games they haven't. But for the most part, I think the offensive line is fine. Getting guys like Storm Norton back and Caleb McGarry will help a little bit. But for the most part, the offensive line has not been a problem. I mean, for the entirety of the year, it's been good up until the San Francisco 49ers game. And then, we've seen a little bit of a regression there, but the entire team has regressed. So how much of that is the offensive line is starting to get worse versus is it just the team getting worse? Razez, I think we might be able to pick up Calvin Ridley because they're rebuilding and Ridley has injury concerns, and I could see him getting in for a late mid-round draft pick. Do you want to buy, though, at this point? We already don't have any draft picks this year. We've got 5. We don't have a first-round pick. So getting Calvin Ridley would cost another draft pick. Now, maybe could you give away a 2027 draft pick? Sure, but I highly doubt that the Tennessee Titans are thinking about 2027. They're thinking about 2026. So at this point, I don't know that you want to be buyers. You might want to just sell. Sell and try to get more draft picks. Last question, Poison Ivy. With Albrecht being an interim last year for the Jets and how that went, do you think he could do a better job here? I think he could provide a spark. The Falcons' defensive players love playing for Jeff Albrecht because he is a leader of men. He does have a good connection. He is better at the mic than Raheem and Zac Robinson. But I don't know if he's head coach material. So could he be an interim for the entirety of the year? Sure. I don't know how many wins that would buy you. Maybe a couple more. But let's be completely honest. It's probably not, it's probably not an Albrecht can fix the situation sort of deal. It would be more of like, you're the guy until we tell you you're not. And that's kind of where you have to be at this point. That's going to do it for us on today's Mailbag episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button, like today's video, and be cool. I'm really excited to announce that I am running for the presidential candidacy of the Atlanta Falcons. Terry Fontenot, I'm coming for your job. You are a really bad GM, okay?
Moose funny too.
All right. Moose for head coach, please, God. Yeah, guys, I'm not a football coach. I love football. I study football. I watch football for a living. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan, just like you. I'm a fan.
Okay, thank God.
What?
Drake May Lover got banned from IG.
Ooh.
For about 10 minutes.
So what happens if the Falcons go on a run and win 8 out of 10 games? In that unlikely scenario, we will cross that bridge when we come to it.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
guys, I want to make something abundantly clear. The NFL is a business. It's entertainment, right? Like, we all know this. We watch every single week, and it is the most popular sport in the United States. There's no doubt. It is also a hard game. There's a reason the biggest, strongest, fastest men play it. But I will also say this. It's not that hard to coach a football team. Like, I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek because, like, I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. But there's a reason that the top teams in the NFL remain at the top. There's a reason that top teams in the NFL don't have these massive slumps. There's a reason top teams in the NFL, like the Chiefs, like the Bills, like the Philadelphia Eagles, like the Chargers, like...
let's not go Chargers.
No, the Chargers are a good... ever since Harbaugh's there, they are a good team. They're a playoff team every year. I would love to be in the Charger spot right now.
Well, yeah, you're the Falcons.
It's not that hard. It is not that hard. We can give Ebikady, or however you spell it for Calvin. They won't take that deal. There's no way. I appreciate your $2 super chat, but there's no way they take that deal. All right. It is 4:05. We will let you get your last-minute super chats in a couple more minutes, and then we'll get on out of here. Thanks, J5. I appreciate you, man. I try my best. I do my best. And funny enough, I think it should be said, Raheem, if you're watching, that every single person in the United States, when they're not doing something right at their job, you do a little bit of self-reflection, you do a little bit of self-scouting, and then you adjust. Doing something wrong is not the problem. Doing something wrong and not learning from your mistakes, that's the problem. Moose is a bit more blunt than Matthew Peterson. That's how I roll, brother. I'm going to give you honest truth, and I'm not always right. I'm not always right. I have been wrong on a lot of stuff, and I'm the first one to say to myself, hey, I was wrong about this. Accountability is a grown man trait. You've got to be accountable in your life. If you're a man, you've got to be, I mean, women have to be accountable too. Everybody's got to be accountable. But men have to look at themselves more in the mirror and say, okay, where do I get better? How do I get better? And that's for me, that's for you watching, everybody. Like, and Raheem and Zach don't have any accountability right now. They're doing the same thing. All right. Which one do you think should go out? I think the Kirk Cousins. Kirk. Yeah, the Kirk one is very. It's very timely. Yeah. What about Steve Sarkisian as a potential head coach? Gavin, no, no. I'm very, very hesitant to bring in a college guy as our head coach. Offensive coordinator. Maybe. Maybe. But I don't know. I'm very hesitant to bring in a college guy to be your head coach. Every year it's like watching someone run into the wall to say ouch and do it again and again and again. Oh, but it's only okay for Scattaboo. That's funny. That guy's insane. That guy's a nut. He's a football nut. Look, I know he was with us for a while, but again, offensive coordinator, fine. I don't know about head coach. Yeah, no problem. No problem. No problem. And the reason I say that is because college is, I mean, it's a different world. College is about being a good recruiter. College, you have to be like the ultimate master motivator. You are the program. In college, the coaches are the program. In the NFL, the coaches are not the program. The coaches are like managers. They're like managers. They manage the game. They scheme up the game, but these are the best players in the world. The players are the product in the NFL. In college, it's almost like under really good coaching, players thrive. And that's true in the NFL, but like even under bad coaching, the best players in college still do well in the NFL. That's the difference. All right. We're good to go. Thanks so much for joining me today. Just want to make sure we didn't get anything breaking news. No, I think we're good. A reminder to hit that subscribe button, like today's video. Falcons fans, I'll see you later. Be cool.